Hi there, and welcome to this week's yoga practice. You will need a mat for today's class. You can see that I have a blanket kind of in the middle of mine, which is kind of nice if you want a little extra cushion for your knees. And then if you happen to have a yoga block, you might like to try using that as well. Or you can really use anything kind of sturdy. A book works nicely, or something about this size, even a water bottle, just to bring the ground a little closer to our hands at times. And for a little extra support. So we'll go ahead and get started when you're ready. Seated in the middle of your mat. Cross legs. You might shift a little front and back so you can really start to feel those sit bones grounding into the earth. Hands can find your knees as we start to draw in some deeper breaths. So in through the nose, full and deep, maybe a sigh out the mouth. These first couple rounds. Just kind of sighing out any lingering tension or to-do list items, anything that's on your mind, just for now, knowing that you can pick it up as soon as we are done with this time. So, again, feeling anchored in those sit bones as we continue to draw that deeper, slower, steadier breath in through the nose and out through the nose at this point, if we're able to. And then thinking about growing tall through the spine, almost as if there was a string coming from the center of your chest, pulling us up. Really nice. Let's take 3 big, full, deep breaths right here. Just kind of setting the tone for this time that you chose to carve out for yourself. So congratulations on that already. Just showing up is such a victory. And let's aim to keep this relationship with our breath for the rest of these movements. So paying attention to that slow, steady rhythm. As we use our next exhale to drop our chin to our chest. And then an inhale to kind of rock left ear over towards left shoulder. And let's pause there, just kind of letting gravity pull on our head, getting nice and heavy. And then from here, you can intensify the stretch in our neck by starting to walk your right fingertips out to the side of it. Oh yeah, big pull in that right side. Breathing into it, a couple more rounds. And then using your next exhale to walk those right fingertips back in, chin tucks back towards our chest. Right hand can once again find the lap as we take an inhale. Exhaling through center, staying right where we are. And then inhaling other side. So turning our chin over our right shoulder, ear kind of melts in that direction. Feeling it out, seeing how it is on this side. And then if we do want a little more, we can start to walk those left fingertips now out to the left. Beautiful. One more big breath in. As we exhale, fingers come back, chin drops back down through center. One more time. Then as we inhale, we can lift the head and start to squeeze shoulders up to our ears. Exhale to roll back and down. Let's take 2 more like that. Inhale, shoulders squeeze up. Exhale to roll them back and down. Last time. Just kind of releasing any tension there in the neck and shoulder area. And then continuing to stretch through the sides of the body, upper body here. We'll inhale, sweep the arms all the way out to the side and up to the sky. Turning our chin up to gaze at the fingertips. And then an exhale to turn our palms down and fan the arms out, back down like wings to the side. Let's take 2 more like that. Big breath in, filling up, growing tall out of the hips, gazing up. Belly button drawing in towards the spine to engage our core as we exhale, lower back down. Beautiful. last time. This time, taking all of this length into a twist, we'll start to grab our left knee with our right hand. The left hand comes behind us for support to kind of press up through the chest once again, turning towards the left, looking over our back shoulder, pausing in this twist. And you might, as we sit here for a few rounds of breath, start to just acknowledge what it is you're showing up to your mat with today. And that can mean a lot of different things. Maybe what energy level you have in your battery. Maybe your mood or your thoughts that you're having. Just acknowledging that that is an absolutely okay place to be practicing from. Let's finish an exhale. And then inhale, left arm up overhead, right hand stays right on that left knee. And we once again can turn our chin up towards that left hand if that feels okay for our neck. Seeing what we can do to relax that left shoulder back into its socket. Big stretch on that left side body. One more inhale. And then exhale, we can really sit down. Lovely. Let's take one more big circle sweep with those arms on an in-breath. And then exhale into the twist on the other side. So left hand grabbing right knee this time, right arm behind us. Fingertips facing the back of the room as we turn to the right. We can acknowledge exactly where we're at. No need to change it. Yoga allows us to be exactly as we are. And at the same time, we can commit the best we can to just giving our best effort with this time. Just whatever that looks like today. One more inhale. Staying here, finish the exhale. And then inhale, back arm, right arm comes up and overhead as we lean to the left, gazing up towards those fingertips. Every deep breath in, opening through that right side a little bit more. Every exhale, softening a little bit more to the left. Really beautiful. Next in-breath takes us all the way up. We can go back through center, maybe a couple more shrugs through those shoulders, just kind of loosening up. So stretching through the legs a bit now. We will extend our right leg out to the side. And it's almost like we're standing on our inner thigh with that left foot. So from here, doing our best to sit forward on those sit bones. Again, growing tall through the chest, long spine. Right fingertips start to wiggle walk towards those right toes as left arm comes up overhead. Spinning our chest to the ceiling as we look up towards those left fingertips. Big giant stretch. And listen, part of doing our best is acknowledging where we're at again and respecting our limits. So if we are new to this, let's have realistic expectations for our flexibility and what we're working with. This can be super intense. Find the breath. Having appreciation for everything we can do, not worrying about what we can't. Finish one more exhale. And then kind of a big move. On an inhale, we're going to swim that left arm all the way up and back behind us. Pressing into that palm to start to lift the hips. Pressing into the feet. Right arm up overhead. So hips press forward. This is a variation of a pose called Wild Thing, which is a fun name. Amazing whole body working here. Again, keeping that belly engaged. One more inhale, press forward a little bit more. And then exhale, lower the seat back down. Beautiful. We're going to take that right foot. You can even pick it up with your hands if needed, crossing it all the way over the left. So that right foot is flat on the earth. Inhale, left arm up to the sky as our right hand once again comes behind us for support. And then exhale, taking a twist, hugging that right knee in, turning to gaze off our back shoulder. Where's the breath? Are we still breathing nice and deep, connected to that wave-like rhythm of the inhale and exhale? We can take one more round, finishing our exhale, and then inhale, turning back forward. So kind of keeping this cross. We're going to bring our bottom foot this time so it stands flat out in front of us. So it's almost like a 4 shape we're making with our legs. Hands can come behind us for support. Flexing this top foot, so toes point up to the ceiling. This can be a really intense hip stretch already. This could be plenty. And so if you're feeling it a whole lot, this is a perfect place to stay. If you are feeling intensity to the point that it's hard to breathe, please feel free to walk that left foot a little more forward. Or likewise, if you can go a little further, you can draw that heel in a little bit closer towards your bum. Sitting up again nice and tall, find the breath, and you might even find a gentle rock of that whole shape with the legs side to side. It's like a little internal massage for our hips. Finding the breath. What is your best effort in this shape? And knowing that, again, if your energy battery is at 50%, your best might reflect that, and your best might look like 50% compared to when you're at 90%. And that's okay. That's very reasonable. Amazing. So we can start to slide that foot off. Maybe extend both legs out in front of us and give them a little shake. And then we're going to take the other side. So left leg this time extends out to the side. Right sole of the foot stamps inside the inner thigh as we start to wiggle walk left fingertips towards that left foot, right arm up overhead. And there's nothing magic about grabbing your toes. So again, having appropriate expectations for ourselves. And just letting wherever those left fingertips land be totally cool. No need to force it or strain. Amazing. Finish an exhale, maybe dipping a little bit more over. And then that big move on an inhale. Top arm is going to come behind us, palm plants, as we start to lift the hips up and forward. Left arm up overhead. Embracing our inner wild thing that we maybe were long ago, or maybe still are connected to that part of us. Yes. Doing so good. If you're shaking, just know that that is your muscles getting stronger. One more inhale. And then exhale, lower down. Beautiful. Taking that left leg, crossing it over the right. Right arm up to the sky. Left palm behind us as we start to hug left knee into our chest, twisting to the back. Beautiful work. Finish an exhale. Next inhale can take us forward. And we'll take that figure 4 shape on this side. So bottom foot comes flat as we flex this top one. And then you take your time to find a place that you can breathe. That's always a good clue when we are in a good spot. A place that maybe feels intense, definitely working, finding that place that's outside of our comfort zone. But we can still breathe freely. We can connect to that rhythm of our breath, not grit our teeth or hold it. Maybe finding that subtle rock with the legs side to side. Maybe just taking a moment as we sit here to thank ourselves for taking this time when you could have been doing so many other things. You decided to prioritize your health and well-being, and that is a huge freaking accomplishment. So let's stick with it. Just a little bit more movement before we come back down and rest so we can start to uncross those legs. Once again, maybe straighten them out, shake them out. And then just crossing at the ankles, we're going to come to hands and knees. So I'm going to spin to the side just so you can see a little better. So grounding our palms under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Let's take some cat-cow shapes here. So we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, shoulders roll down and back. And then exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest. A few more just like that. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. Let's do 3 more. It feels so delicious for the spine. Last time, looking up. Exhale, tuck and round. And then find that neutral place, that place that's just in the middle, not flexing or rounding. And then we'll start to work through the hip joint a little bit more by taking that left leg, keeping it bent, and just starting to draw some circles with your knee. So either direction, forward or backward, as if there was like a paintbrush on your kneecap and you were drawing some circles, or it's almost like a dog peeing on a hydrant. I know that's not the most lovely metaphor, but that's what I think of when I do this shape. And then we can start to reverse the direction. Yeah, and we can feel our belly working here for sure. Abs are engaged to help us lift that leg. Awesome. I'm going to spin back forward again just so you can see a little bit better, but you can stay where you're at as we start to straighten our left leg out to the side so the foot comes flat, toes facing forward. Uh-oh, my head's going to get cut off, but that's okay. Arms up overhead. If I do this, there we go. It's a little bit better. You don't need to see my head. Shoulders relaxing away from the ears as we continue to breathe. Take a big breath in. Exhale, leaning to the left. Again, fingertips crawl down the thigh towards the toes, right arm up overhead, gazing up at those right fingertips. Pausing here, getting super stretched out through that right side. One more breath, taking a big inhale. Finishing your exhale. And then big breath in, takes both arms up to the sky. Chin lifts. Exhale, other side. So right fingertips come down all the way to the earth. And this is where your block can come in handy. If it's too hard to go all the way down, use a block. Just again, bringing the floor a little closer to us. So that left arm can come up overhead. We might spin the chest open to the sky. And gazing at those left fingertips, feels so good. Slight back bend. Finish your next exhale. And then inhale to come all the way back up. And we're just gonna flow between those 2 movements a couple rounds. So inhaling through center. Exhale, leaning to the left. Inhaling up through center. Exhaling right. Inhaling center. Exhaling left. One more time to the right. Inhale takes us up. Exhale to the right. Awesome. From here, if you want a little extra challenge, you might see what it's like to lift that left foot off the earth. Oh yeah, I definitely feel my butt working, outer thigh, core is engaged. Really beautiful work. Amazing. Can we lift one more breath in? And then exhale, you can bring that foot right back down. Again, toes face forward. And let's bring both hands forward as well. So sort of in front of that right knee. There we go. So you can ground through the palms, relax through the neck and the head, just kind of um, head extending straight from our spine. And if this feels okay, you might lower down onto your forearms. Should be feeling a nice juicy stretch through that left inner thigh. Breathing right here. A few more rounds. Awesome. If you've lowered down onto your forearms, you can start to press into your palms. Maybe bringing one hand to your hip and then the other as we rise all the way back up. Left knee steps in. Once again, finding hands and knees. You can move that block out of the way if you've used it. And let's shake it out a little bit. You might shake your hips side to side, make some circles, shake the head side to side. Just kind of wiping the slate clean. We get another chance on the other side. So we'll start with those knee circles. Right knee this time lifts up and out to the side. Taking some circles one way. Seeing if you can really tune in as we switch directions to every subtle sensation you're feeling in your hip and your butt muscles, your abdominals, and just appreciating it because whatever we're feeling, even if we're challenged, we are alive. And the fact that we're feeling so much is a gift. Let's not forget that. All right, once again, I'm going to turn just so you can see a little bit better as we extend right leg straight out to the side, rising up. Arms up overhead, lift the chin. Exhale, leaning over to the right, big juicy side bend. As we pause here, we might close our eyes and start to visualize what us at our best looks like. You at your very best, happiest, healthiest version of you. Let's inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, switch sides. Again, maybe taking that block and bringing our hand to it for a little support. Right arm up overhead. Try not to sink into your bottom shoulder. See if we can stay nice and lifted through the chest. Feeling your breath. Amazing. Inhale up through center. Exhale to the right. Finding that little dance with your own breath as your dance partner, your own pace, ignoring mine. Inhale takes us up whenever that is for you. Exhale, one direction. Inhaling up through center. Exhale, other side. A few more rounds just like that. So close, guys. Last couple movements before we slow it down, take it to the ground. Let's go one more each direction. Beautiful. Inhaling up. Exhale to the left. And then starting to bring both hands forward in front of that left knee. Flat back. head, a straight extension from our spine, pausing here, and then maybe lowering down onto one forearm even, or both. Maybe as we pause here, we take a moment to reflect on how we've been treating ourselves lately, maybe this week. How we've been moving, feeding ourselves, how much rest and downtime we've allowed for. What's maybe going on in our lives, what kind of circumstances we're in, if we're in a time of intensity or busyness or challenge. Just taking a little assessment of where we're at. As we start to inhale, we can bring our weight back into our palms, maybe one hand on the hip at a time as we rise up. Oh, I'm ready to step that knee back in line. Amazing. And then we can just sit right back down on our heels. Resting palms on our knees, close the eyes, take a moment to breathe. We made it. Made it through the more active poses. Just a couple more stretches as we start to wind it down. So based on that assessment, kind of asking ourselves, okay, with all of that information, with where I'm at, what I've got going on, how I'm feeling as a result of my activity lately and the choices I've made, what is the best I can offer? Focusing on what we can do every day, just one small step forward. So with that, we can start to come down to lying on your back. Have your block handy if you've got one. Again, not necessary, but we'll start to lay down flat, knees bent up towards the ceiling, feet flat on the earth. From here, I'll invite you to a little bridge pose. So arms can be down by our side, palms down onto the earth. And you can inhale to start to press into your feet, press into your arms, and start to lift the hips off the earth. So it can just be a little bit. And if you happen to have a block, you might put that block right under your low back. Your sacrum area is the place where you'll usually feel pretty grounded and balanced and comfortable, where it feels like it's easy to kind of rest and let gravity take over. It shouldn't feel like too much work if you're using that block. And if you're not using the block, it is definitely working your bum and your thighs a little bit more. So keep that in mind. You can certainly come down for a breath or two if you start to get fatigued, and then rise back up into it. Just a few more breaths here. Inhaling to press into the feet. If you're using a block, you can slide it out from underneath you and then lower down top to bottom, one bone at a time in our spine, slowly. And when the hips come down, you can start to hug your knees into your chest, maybe give a little rock side to side. And then extending legs out in front of you, arms by your side, finding a comfortable position to take a final rest. So closing the eyes, maybe taking one final breath to release that controlled breathing together. So inhale through the nose all the way, sighing out the mouth, letting all of that go and just soaking up some very well-deserved rest here. Slowly starting to come back to your breath. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Just to gently reawaken. You can circle the wrists or ankles, maybe rock the head side to side. Perhaps rocking over onto one side and pausing, almost in a fetal position. And then you can use your hands to slowly make your way up back to a seat, right where we started. Amazing work, bringing hands together at your heart center, closing the eyes. Just taking a moment to close out in gratitude. Gratitude for all of your effort, for this time that you took for yourself. It is so well spent and you should be incredibly proud. So, with that, I'll say namaste. And thank you once again so much for being here. It's a pleasure to share this with you. So, hope to see you soon. Bye.